I watched Cube for the first time this afternoon. Cube is a 1997 sci-fi horror film, and I've heard a little bit of buzz around this movie from some of the YouTube channels I watch on YouTube that have recommended it and said it's good and all that. Um, and so yeah, I thought I would give it a watch because I looked at the synopsis or whatever, and it seemed really promising. It seemed like a really cool concept of this, and my what I thought of the movie is I really enjoyed it. I think this is a really great psychological sci-fi horror film because there is actually a lot of psychological elements throughout this movie, and this is a movie where you have to work together as a team. This is more of a team building exercise movie, if you want to put it that way, where you have to work as a team in order to get to the next room. If you want to progress and if you want to get out of the cube. Um, and as far as these characters, I thought these were the right characters for this kind of movie because each character has their own personal life, has their own work life, and has their own personality to them, which is what you want from a whole bunch or a variety of characters. You want them to have different personalities, different interests, characterization to them. And I think this movie does a good job at showing their skills throughout this cube. Like one of the characters is an expert in maths, and so that comes in use in progressing from room to room. And she became probably my favorite character, probably midway through this movie because she's really smart. She's probably the one that actually does the most out of everyone as far as getting out of this cube. And okay, here's the thing. So yeah, she would have been the one to get out if what was his name? David? No, that's not right. The cop character. What was his name? I didn't take notes for this movie, so I can't exactly remember his name. But yeah, if it wasn't for him, she would still be alive. She would be out of the cube. But instead, like the cop character, stabbed her, and yeah, she died in the cube. Um, and, and there are a couple of good twists. There are a couple of good twists throughout the movie that I really enjoyed. One I did not see coming, which does tie into, I guess, the construction of the cube. And because I know in this franchise there is a prequel, Cube Zero, which I haven't seen yet, but I do plan to review all three of these movies hopefully. Which I would like that to be explained. Like I would like to explain the reasoning and the whole purpose of this cube being made, because I think what is displayed inside the cube, I think the production design of this movie and like the rooms that they go to, I think it's really interesting. I think there's some really interesting art direction and art design built built on the walls of this cube, yeah, which I really like that. And the other part of this movie I really dug was the psychological elements, because this movie, I think it relies on it so much, and I'm not saying that as a bad thing. That's actually a good thing in the conversation of this, um, where where some rooms have traps, and then others are a gateway to progress. So yeah, I really dug that. And it's just the characters are a lot of fun. There are also a lot of intense sequences. There's one room that deals with sound as its trap, and that was probably the most intense scene in this movie for me. Where you cannot make even the most. I mean, you can make, I think, little sounds, like there are little sounds in the room, if I'm remembering, but it's loud sounds that will activate. And the only thing that you can do to and that can make sound is you can open the door, because the sound sensors aren't what's the word, they aren't programmed to pick up on those sounds. It's only if people fall down, or loud footsteps, or just or those sounds that will set them off. But yeah, I thought that was probably the most intense, the most intense trap in this entire movie. The movie also opens on a really high note. Like the opening trap in this movie is really awesome. It's really creative. It's really cool. Where this guy, he splits into like little quarters, and he falls down like Lego pieces. And I thought that was a really cool opening trap. And I think all the practical effects and all the gore in this movie, I think, is really spot on. I think it looks really cool. There's some really cool direction in this movie. There's some great like human moments in this movie where characters are freaking out, and they have a conversation like about their life and about their kids. And I think it was those moments in this movie that I really liked, that kind of add to the situation of like you're trying to calm this person down. And I think that's something that really makes this movie, I think, still hold up, is like those human conversations that like at what would you kind of do in this situation, how would you calm down. And I think, yeah, like as this movie I think does utilize, is having conversations and putting their mind on something else on instead of the situation that they are in. I think it does help. And so yeah, that was an element of this movie I really dug in, like the human moments, the human conversations. I really dug it. But then towards the end of this movie does become a survival of the fittest scenario. And there's a lot of turning on each other towards the end of this movie, which then that does backfire on a few of the characters. And so yeah, the ending of the movie I thought was really, really cool. Where one of the characters got out. And yeah, I thought that was really cool. And like maths is a big part of, I guess, of like progressing through this cube. And so yeah, that was something I really liked in this movie. Like I think there was a lot to enjoy in this movie. If you like psychological movies, I think this movie does its job extremely well in that area. Like if you just watch these movies for for the carnage candy and the blood and all that, I think the movie delivers on that for the most part. There's not as much in here as you would expect. I can't say that about the sequels because I haven't seen them yet. I will be watching Cube 2 either tonight or tomorrow, hopefully, and I'll hopefully get a review done. Like on that movie. But yeah, like I think in the end, I really enjoyed Cube. I cannot speak. I really enjoyed Cube. There we go. And yeah, like I recommend it. I recommend it to you guys if you're a horror fan. If you haven't already seen it, I would say yeah, check it out. It's a really fun movie. It's a really intense movie as well. So yeah, if you like those kinds of movies, I would definitely recommend checking this one out. Alright, guys. Bye.